Alrighty, here we go. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to my little domain. My name is Sergio, known as PC Shed in the community. So I decided, instead of typing messages to every single person that's been bombarding me with questions, which is fine, I've decided to do a bit of a talk in regards to crypto staking and also cover other topics. So it depends on how many people show up and what they are asking. There's no exactly a set structure, but to just give you an indication in regards to what I will be covering. This is basically the list of tallied up number of questions that people have been asking, like staking, Binance, wallets, crypto, living off interest, risk management, entries. So I'll try to cover some of this. I've got very limited time because I'm involved with other things. Today is Mother's Day, so I spent most of the day with my family. You know, family always comes first. But I'm always willing to help those that want to help themselves. So I hope you find this information useful, and hopefully moving forward we'll have a video so you can actually see me, and I'll be able to give you visual representations of what I'm talking about. And yeah, welcome to my world. So without further ado, let's get on. There you go, that should be recording. Cool. There you go. I'll see Roxana is here. Love the detail on the watches makers trainers last night.
Oh, hello, yeah. Thank you again.
Good. Right, I'm going to get my board. I've got a whiteboard where I'll write everything down. Bear with me. So, first of all, apologies if my English is not 100%. I'm Portuguese. I've been living in the UK for the last 25 years. So if I do mess a few words out, just correct me on it because I'm still learning. But I wish I could show you this because it's quite an extensive list. So I'll go through the list of virtually over the 170 messages I received today. So the topics to cover, and there's no way I'm going to be able to cover all of these, is stake guide, Binance Exchange, e-wallets, altcoins, crypto.com, living off crypto interest, margin management, entries and exits in the 1 and the 5 and the 15 minute, 2-hour trades, best exchanges, USTD versus USD, APY, DeFi, NFTs, dual staking, BitTrue BTR, KuCoin exchange, Hotbit, Coinbase, where to start, eToro and copying traders, Exodus wallet, Atomic wallet, and Zilliqa staking. So I've obviously done a tally of these are like the main, but if there's any other topics that is not here, I can touch on that briefly. Just to let you know, me and Tino have been in talks, and there will be an interview, but the guy is just super busy behind the works. So when that interview is going to take place, the date has not been finalized, but that is going to be worth a watch if anybody is interested. But before I start, is there any general questions that anybody wants to fire away while I'm here?
Yeah, dude, have you watched how the market's been behaving right now? Like, all the exchanges are empty of leverage.
Yeah.
It's complete market maker manipulation.
Oh,
just
yes.
This exact thing that's happening right now exactly shows what their intention is, what they're doing. They just disabled leverage, and they're just waiting for Monday so big players can buy, at a reasonable price, because without it, the price would be at almost 70k at the moment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, to be fair, I spent most of the mornings, Mother's Day here in the UK, so family always comes first with me. So I sorted my kids and my missus, and I spent the time with my mum. So I only firstly been on the fly on the phone answering some questions, and I just came back. I was planning to do this just after lunchtime. So yeah, exchanges will do everything to protect their capital and make sure that the big money is protected. You know, the hedge funds, you name it. So
I guess if I can say, maybe it's also because the big players had shorts in.
Oh,
they didn't
absolutely.
They didn't think on the weekend it will break all-time high.
Yeah, look at this. I give you a perfect example. I don't know if anybody's here been following what was happening with the Wall Street boys and the GME stock, okay, the GameStop. So it was found that a lot of these massive billion-dollar hedge funds had loads of shorts of this company. Now, this company in the US used to be one of the biggest ones where you can buy computer games exchanges. So over the years, they've virtually been struggling, and their stock price has been falling and falling all the way down to $4. Now, this community, when it virtually started, was only a couple of 100,000, and this community has been around for a few number of years. They virtually decided to take on the hedge funds, and they did that, and the membership went to about 4.4 million, and everybody went in and bought the stock. Now, the stock itself was oversold by 137%, right? So that means that they oversold the stock and they shorted it. So of course, when the price started increasing from $4 to $10 to $50, and it went all the way to $500 in a space of a week, those hedge funds were losing billions. They lost 4.7 billion to begin with, and it went almost to 10, and the final figure was not disclosed. So what happened? The main exchange that was being used by most people on this Discord group, Wall Street, was what's it called? Not Uphold. Robinhood. Now, Robinhood is not an exchange. Robinhood is a middleman. Hence why there's no fees when you transact with them. They are the middleman. They take the orders and they send the orders to a proper exchange. So what did they do? They virtually stopped people buying. They stopped the market and only gave the option to sell. Right? This is insane. This is unheard of. Right? But guess what? Majority of people did not sold. Right? They held. It got to a point that the GM stock was at $500 and people were getting offers within the exchange to buy the stock at $5,000 because those stocks were oversold by 37%. So the funding company that funds Robinhood, right? They have a ratio that the Robinhood has to pay them. They had to increase it to 100%. The original amount was under, I think, a couple of 100 million. When it went to 100%, they virtually had to raise up capital of over 3 billion. They finally managed to organize under $1 billion. But to do that, they had to stop market trading. They virtually absolutely destroyed the community, the customer base. And the interview, if you go on YouTube and you see the interview with the CEO, when the question was asked, this seems like a liquidity problem. Just look at his face, because he looked like a rabbit on headlights. And then there was a leaked, it says private club of the billionaires, Elon Musk, all the big players, and they invited him into this talk, right? And virtually Elon straight away, what happened? And he started giving the spiel, fluffing about. I said, yeah, we know what you are. What happened? And still, in front of these guys who are leading industry guys, these are guys that set trends in the markets, right? And he lied to them, right? So don't be surprised that exchanges, Kraken is a perfect example. I used to do trading in Kraken, but after what I saw what they did to ADA with a wick, they virtually went from 90 cents all the way to 30, and then with Ethereum, you know, a wick that is bigger than the growth of 6 months and wiped out, God knows, hundreds of thousands of orders liquidated by a wick that was artificially made. I stopped using Kraken, you know, but you will find this in a lot of the exchanges. So, and
the main thing that I've come to notice also with Kraken, I also traded in Kraken, is that when the price started growing by the retail investors, right, we break an all-time high on the weekend, right? The big players cannot play, right? The only thing they can do is stop leverage trading and say, "Oh, sorry, we don't have any more funds to loan you guys."
Yeah.
And that's it. The price won't go anywhere.
Yeah, that is true. And they actually force some positions closed, which is unheard of. They actually close some positions. I've been hearing stories from different people. So yeah. Okay. So you guys, you know, those that have actually been dealing with leverage positions, you know that in essence you are borrowing money from the exchange. You are paying a small fee, right, under the 7 hours period. Some do 8 when you open the trade, okay? And you know, if you get the trade done within 7 hours, happy days. But you know, that money is being put forward as such by the exchange. So when you virtually put in $100 and you leverage it X50 or X100, right, that difference, the buying power that you get, is equal, let's say, X50 to $5,000 on contracts that you buy, right? So that has to come from somewhere. And then when it comes to, this is just on USTD, right, futures I'm talking about. When you start going into USD, which is you have a currency, let's use Ethereum as an example, and you virtually do future trading ETH USD, meaning that you're actually using your coin as collateral, right? And you're virtually leveraging it, so the exchange is going to provide the same coin, and the payment for you is going to be on coin, not in money. So it's a way of growing your bags of coins. So that has to come from somewhere, you know. So that's why you see a massive influx of exchanges of, you know, two big players is the Bitcoin and the Ethereum, you know. So there you go. Sorry, I've gone in a tantrum here. Because, man, these 5 weeks have been a eye-opener. I have been involved in cryptocurrencies for just over 8 years, right? Way back in 2016, right? Cryptocurrencies back in 2015-16 didn't have this exposure that it has now in 2021, right? So when you saw the big bull run, as they say, in 2017-18, December to January, leading up to March, all of a sudden, you know, a lot of people went into it, okay? But not the institutions, because they saw it as a threat to the fiat currency. Now, I don't know if you guys are clued up in regards to what is exactly happening on the global scale on the financial fiat market, right? Because 2021-22, you are going to see a huge change. And look up CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Look up Global Economic Forum. Davos event in January. This was a key meeting, right? Central banks are realizing that they cannot continue to keep printing money. Look at just what happened in the US with the stimulus checks. They have been printing, the US Reserve, been printing money, more money in this last 2 years than the previous 100 plus, right? Inflation is gonna absolutely destroy. It has been destroying the US dollar since the 1970s, because in 1970s US dollar was backed by gold. Nixon, the president, removed that standard. Back then, a meeting was held with virtually all the key people from around the financial world, and made the decision that the US dollar was going to be the global currency because it was gold, as good as gold, because it was backed by gold. Once that was removed, the US Reserve went on a printing frenzy. So what you have now is an issue that the US dollar has lost the buying power of 97%. And you can apply that to any country that has a currency. I'm here in the UK. I came in this country in 1992. £1 sterling. Okay? Now, £1 sterling in today's money, due to the inflation, if I was to want to buy something in 1992 for £1, it would cost £2.17 in today's money. Now, that isn't because the prices has gone up. It's because the buying power of the currencies has been absolutely destroyed by the amount of printing. Supply and demand. So if you have multiple nationalities here, guys, and if you look to your central bank, simply type in inflation calculator, and then you will see the true picture of what's happening. Now, in regards to why is central banks like the Central Bank of the European Union, the Euro, why all of a sudden there's been a big push to digitalization of their currencies? Well, they're virtually realizing that the current cross-border payments between countries, with SWIFT, it is super slow. For anybody that is in this group, I am sure at some point in your life you sent money from where you are back home or vice versa, and the bank gives you that service, right? They use SWIFT because they've been established for over 100 plus years, but it's slow and costly to the banks. Now you have multiple ledgers right now which banks are trying or using right now. And to give you an example, if I was to send a payment from UK through my bank to, say, South America in Venezuela, right? That will take 1 to 3 days because the banks has to process it, they have to put the order, they have to send it to a receiving house, the receiving house has to receive the actual accreditation, so they have to cross-check everything, then the clearinghouse has to send it to the bank account, the bank account has to cross-check it, and that takes time and costly. One ledger that is leading this is the XRP ledger. Forget about the token. I know a lot of people call it a shitcoin. It's not about the token. The token is just a vehicle. The ledger, Ripple Inc., for the last 8 years has been virtually doing a hybrid bridge between the crypto market and the fiat market. They have now done over 100 of the world's bank is in partnership with Ripple Inc. This is not, I repeat, this is not a coincidence. This has been building up, guys. I have been following this all the way back 8 years ago. All you have to do is type in XRP Ledger and you will find that even Amazon is providing a subscription service for people like private companies to use the ledger to transfer money. So virtually, if you have a huge amount of money from one point, all they have to do is they just transfer that money into XRP. They use the XRP to move from one point to another and redeem it on the other side. Just think of XRP token as a vehicle. Now, when virtually everybody says, well, Bitcoin is the daddy of cryptocurrency. In store value, absolutely. But when it comes to payment, it is slow. And how slow? Has anybody virtually tried to withdraw Bitcoin from one exchange to a wallet or from one wallet to another? Look how much it costs you and how long it takes you. Now, Google up XRP Ledger speed. The scalability is like 1,500 times faster if not. And it's scalable. So the more there is, it scales. So keep an eye on that, guys. But anyway, we're not here to talk about what's happening in the whole world. Right, any questions in regards to staking? Who's actually staking coins right here, right now? Anybody? Yeah.
Before you start with the guys.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear you. Let me just put my volume up. Yeah, let me put my volume up. Go ahead.
So, about the oversold. Where do you get? You have any? You watch any? Like where do you get the news?
Your audio cuts off like every.
Yeah, I know, it's quite hard. Where do I get my news in regards to what? Sorry, Roxanne.
You said earlier that the market was over, and all the ideas that you have, all the where you watch, you have any?
Where do I watch? Firstly, there's several websites that gives you information in regards to movements, who's buying, what levels is moving on a daily basis. I know there's a lot of people use Market Cipher. You know, I've used it before, but in regards to oversold, it depends on what exchange. Okay. When I used that example, I was virtually using the example on stocks, which was the GameStop and the AMC stocks. They were virtually oversold. That means that virtually these hedge funds virtually sold something they didn't actually have to begin with. So when someone wants to return the stock back to the original person, they didn't have it. So that's why they were offering stupid amount of money to get that stock back. But in crypto world, oversold action happens all the time. But I will try to, what I'll do, I'm making notes and I will try to put links of virtually any tools that I currently use or have used in the past in regards to market share, to do the volumes, whales in specific coins that's moving, coins from private wallets to the exchange and vice versa. MikeDutch does a great job. Yesterday, the amount of information, I don't know if anybody did stick around and watched MikeDutch's stream, but he's got a lot of experience, way more than me in regards to monitoring, where to get some of those feeds and find out what's going on. So I'll make a note of that. Cool.
Yeah, maybe you can provide, you or Mike can provide some.
Yeah, I'll feed back to Mike. But yeah.
I didn't stay last night with Mike. Was very, actually like 1:30.
Yeah.
Tino finished.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a problem. Okay, I'll get that. I'll get on that. Right. Who's staking? Who's staking coins? Do we know?
I've done some staking in the past, but
okay.
Are you staking on Uniswap or something?
On Uniswap?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So. Oh, I can hear myself. Turn that down. Someone's listening.
Hey, I'm going to buy SNX to stake. I've heard that they have a really nice return.
Okay. Right. I'm going to treat this little chat into staking as if virtually you guys don't know nothing about it. All right. So this is not me trying to be condescending. It's probably the best way for me to explain the purpose of staking. Well, what I've been doing, right? And then you decide if that's right for you or not. But to begin, not all coins are stakeable. Okay. When you hear the term staking, right? Think like your bank account that you have, right? Now, in a bank account, you have a savings account. You put money in. The bank will give you a annual percentage on what you put in, and at the end of the year, there you are. You have a little interest return. Exactly the same thing for staking. You have your cryptocurrency. You're going to virtually put it either flexible, which means that you earn interest, but you still have access to it at any given time, or locked, which means that you decide what period you want to lock your cryptocurrency. Could be a week, could be a month, could be 3 months. It's up to yourself. Now, the difference between flexible staking and locked is the APU, the annual yield is a lot higher when it's locked, right? So every single exchange, pretty much, there's some that don't do, offers some sort of staking, and they have their own token. Binance has BNB, Crypto.com has Crow. There is advantages for the exchanges to offer staking, because if you're holding the actual token within that exchanges, right, you're not selling it. So it helps the price. Now, in terms of percentages, the big difference between a normal bank account savings account and crypto staking is you get your interest daily. You don't have to wait till the end of the term to get it, and the interest is paid to you on the coin that you actually stake. So if you stake in Bitcoin, you get paid in Bitcoin. If you stake Ethereum, and the same thing. Now, when it comes to staking, not all exchanges provide, there is an industry standard on the annual yield that you get. And when you see a percentage, say 6%, 10% or whatever, you don't get that on a daily basis. That's an annual percentage. So if you divide that by the number of days in a year, that gives you an idea how much you're going to get, right? Now, when it comes to staking, there is a lot of sites that offer a lot higher percentages in return. Now, these percentages, when a coin becomes available to stake, they always start high. But the more people start staking, the percentage will get lower. So right now, for example, DeFi, decentralized finance, which is one of my fortes, you can stake a coin at 200+%, right? But I guarantee you within 3 months down the line, that percentage will go down and down and down. Okay, so if there is a specific coin that is hot right now or just launched, you will see a platform that will provide a stakeable option for it, and most likely you will get the best return. So what's the main goal of staking? Very simple. While you're waiting for your long-term holders for the price action to go up or the value of the coin to go up, you are earning interest. You are growing your bags of your chosen coin by simply holding it. So you can either hold it in a cold storage and earn nothing. You hold some part of it in the exchange because you might fear that the exchange might get hacked, right? I have a Trezor hard wallet where coins that is not stakeable is virtually locked away, and a majority of my stakeable coins are in multiple exchanges, and I will give you the names of those exchanges. Okay, so right now there's an exchange that virtually has probably the biggest range of stakeable coins, DeFi, and that is Hotbit. Right, now the website is a bit slow, but when you go into staking, they have over 400 products that you can stake, ranging from 5% to 200%. All right. Another exchange is KuCoin. Now, KuCoin has soft staking and hard staking, but also while you're staking, they reward you with a mining pool coin. Right. So that's another one. Bitrue. Now, Bitrue is a little bit different, right? Because they really specialize in staking in a different way. They actually provide the opportunity for, little guys like us to actually stake without having the big whales dumping millions of a coin and take the whole thing. So every single day at 3 a.m., they open up 250,000 availability so people can stake a specific coin, and that's across a multiple. So XRP, virtually anything, Zilliqa, ADA, Link, you name. Firstly, on the top 50 coins, they have it. Now, what's different about Bitrue? Bitrue has their own token, BTR, right? Now, when you hold BTR, and this is just on this exchange, let's say that the percentage to stake ADA is 5%. But if you hold BTR, you can stake BTR and raise 5% to 7.3. And then your daily interest not only is going to be the interest on ADA, but interest on BTR. So in essence, you're killing two birds with one stone. You're growing two bags. You're growing the coin, right, of the exchange, and you're virtually growing the coin that you're staking. Well, now, why is this important? Because the higher amount of BTR that you have, the more you can stake on that specific coin, right? So people can stake just the coin itself and get 5%, but when you're holding it for 4 months or whatever period, it mounts up. Have a look at the price of BTR. Look how it's grown from last year to where we're at. Look at BNB. BNB token in November, I've introduced a couple of guys to staking, didn't know nothing about crypto, right? We got in at BNB at 14.95. 14.95. They virtually bought, I think, £100 worth of BNB. Look at the price action that BNB has got now, right? And they were staking it, so they were earning BNB from November till now. So happy days. They're happy.
How much BNB do you earn?
How much? Well, that depends on what you put in. And where you virtually BNB, or if you go on Binance, there's two systems. You can soft stake BNB, or you can use their system, the launch pool, where you as a holder, you get a small amount of any new coins launched on the Binance blockchain. So, for example, Dodo, the football tokens that came out last year, and again, Shazil, just had massive price. Shazil, I have a group of people who brought Shazil less than a penny last year. Less than a penny. And look at Shazil, what's happening in the last 48 hours. So they are over the moon. They're happy days. Football tokens. So virtually for anybody that doesn't know, ticker CHZ. It has its own exchange called Socios. They use that token to trade football tokens backed by football organizations like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Paris, and they are expanding super quick. Look up Twitter. The main ECO is called Alexander. I mean, you just do a search, you will find it. They are really, really pushing it. Football is one of the biggest sports in the world, right? And they virtually tokenized it. The next thing they're going for is Formula One. So keep an eye on it. All right? So that kind of brief gives you a little brief understanding, I hope, of staking. Now, long term. Now, this is the next step. So that's, if you're happy doing that, growing your bags while waiting for the price to go up, no problem. But there's a different level. Decentralized finance. For those that don't know, is very simple. Is decentralized finance. It's virtually nothing linked to a bank. Now, I spent the last 10 years trying to get away from having to deal with banks. You work full-time or part-time. You get paid into your bank account, or you pay by check or whatever. But I wanted to change that. So, through the power of DeFi and staking, you have multiple sites right now, probably 10 to 12. I'm going to mention one that I use, but do your research, right? So now you have sites like PayPal. You have sites with Amazon, Binance, Coinbase, all offering you a debit card linked to your exchange account, meaning that you can sell cryptocurrency and the money can go to your card. Now, I'm going to use crypto.com, is one that I've been heavily invested for quite a few years. So by holding CRO, you can stake different coins and earn interest. Well, guess what? You have the exchange on your PC, but you also have the app on the phone. Each element offer different elements, right? So you can buy, sell on the computer, and same on the phone. But on the phone, let's say that I have, say, a coin. I'm using ADA as an example because, I love ADA. And I said, right, okay, I've got some interest. Price is good today on ADA. Happy days. I'm going to sell some in my currency, and I'm going to top up my debit card, which now I actually have a physical Visa debit card, and transfer, virtually get that money topped up on my card. And now I have the money in my card, which I can pay for stuff in real world. right? Now, there's multiple sites that do this. Celsius is one. There is, oh God, I've lost count. I've applied for all of them. The first one that actually came through and verified, these cards from Crypto.com has different tiers. So, for example, the free card, Happy Days, it gives you the facility to do what exactly I explained. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 5. The more Crow you stake, it opens up cash back on Crow. So every time I'm spending real cash from the interest that I've earned, I am earning Crow back to my wallet. Now, there is one, the maximum you can get is 10%. Unfortunately, I'm not that rich and I can't afford that entry level, which is about $250,000 Crow. But I went a couple of tiers up to the point now that one of the perks gives you your monthly Netflix subscription free and your Amazon Prime free. So all of these perks add up, and that is based in just one coin, right? Crow, right?
No, I'm listening.
So the big long-term plan, you become your own bank. By holding cryptocurrency, by staking it, you're earning interest. You use that interest at key points. You know the cycle now. Hopefully you guys been watching Tino's videos. You know the cycle. You reset on a Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, information starts coming down. This last 2 weekends has been mental. Totally off the cuff, which is ridiculous. And virtually, there you are. You are self-sufficient. You're growing your bags. The more interest you get, you become your own bank. Now, there is this is just another step. There is companies, for example, Miami has now trying to push to pay part of their employees' wage in Bitcoin. Right now, there's a football player, NFL, that's getting half of his wage in Bitcoin. Man, that guy is one of the smartest guys. That's one of the best decisions he has ever made. Because first, you just got paid in Bitcoin, and look at the price action Bitcoin's had. So he's sitting there, wakes up in the morning, and goddamn, Bitcoin's just hit 60,000 US. Oh, righty. Right? So it's a massive evolution, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's people here that say, no, I just want to trade it. I'm not interested in all that. That's fine. Right? But you're going to hear throughout this year, there was a lot of action on DeFi last summer, and this year leading to 2021, decentralized finance and NFTs. Now, be careful with NFTs because non-refundable tokens. I think there might be a lot of regulatory legislation into this because it's a different beast compared to normal crypto. So do your research. Right, I have been talking and talking. Any questions, anybody, in regards to staking at all?
Yeah, I've thought about buying BNB for the long term because I've been saying that since like $12 or something,
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Even at $12 is expensive.
Yeah,
Well, look at now.
I was telling guys, you freaking whales, at $8 to $12 for BNB,
hello?
which is like
I got a question.
one exchange. It's
Bear with
gonna
me.
be like
Bear with me.
For a person that has never staked before, what do you suggest? Like 2 or 3 coins that's the easiest to stake?
Okay, so for nobody that's never done any staking, all right, I'm going to mention one site that I always say, if nobody's been involved in crypto, is one of the easiest platforms to use, and this is the Coinbase. Now, Coinbase is a good place to start because of 2 reasons. Number 1, the interface is clean. Number 2, they educate you in certain coins and give you free coins. Now, long term, do not use Coinbase to buy and sell. The fees on Coinbase are ridiculous. Almost £2 for a simple transaction. So, short term, there's a couple of coins in there, Atom, DAI, XTZ, within Coinbase, that you can stake, and the percentage are okay to get you going. But use Coinbase, get yourself verified, do what you have to do, and then a option will open up where you can virtually learn about certain coins, XLM, Filecoin, and you virtually do a multiple choice question. You can't get the answer wrong, by the way, and you get credited the coin. Yeah, I'm not talking big money, but $5-10 for somebody that's never earned anything. There you go. That's a start. So you can start with that. You can sell that to another coin, right? So in regards to some of the best coins to stake, look at a coin that provides fuel. Does anybody understand what I just said?
No, what do you mean with fuel?
Well, there's a coin, so you have a coin, right? And it provides you a secondary coin. Look at VET, for example. Right? VET, you get VTHOR. That's the fuel for the transactions, right? Look in NEO. Let me just have a quick look. I'm going to bring up my trusty little wallet. When you're looking for coins to stake, the main purpose, there's always a purpose, process and payoff. The reason you're doing it, how you're going to do it, what's in it for you, right? So if you're going to plan to hold a coin long term, why isn't this working? Then it all comes down to the best interest you get. Now I am very clued up on the fundamentals on a lot of coins because I've read hundreds of white papers in each. Oh wow, okay, remind me later.
I'm sorry, SpeedyDX, can you mute your microphone, please? SpeedyDX.
Sorry, who's that?
SpeedyDX, if he can lower his microphone, mute his microphone. Speedy.
Speedy.
We hear him and I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So again, you got people in here that are interested. A lot of people here just join, and I can't control that, guys. Okay. Let me have a look very quickly. Right. You have NEO. NEO provides a secondary coin. You have ontology gas. So let's have a look anymore. Quick look. Don't be afraid of using stable coins to actually gain more stable coins.
Can I ask you about that, PC Show?
Yeah, sure.
I've got a fair amount of USDC stuck on my ledger.
Okay.
Staking is something I'd like to do.
Yeah.
My main concern is one about security.
Yes. Okay.
Is it safe to actually do it? I don't want to risk it.
In regards to moving it from your hard wallet to an exchange and swap it, or what's the name?
No, I'm more interested just to stake from the hard wallet, from the ledger directly.
Okay, you use S Ledger, right? Okay, I use Trezors. Okay, so in regards to is it safe? With cryptocurrency, it's anything. But when it comes to staking, it's getting a lot better. When staking kind of started, there was a lot of scams where people will virtually stake. So go to a trustworthy exchange, right? Because now there is even some exchanges that offer insurance if anything goes wrong, right? Now USD, sorry, you said you had USDC, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just give you, I know I'm going just slightly off track. Just to give you a bit of a heads up. At the moment, USDT is being summoned to court, right? They had to present papers. If anybody's clued up on this, they had to present papers based on their actions a few years back where USDT, which is paired pretty much with every single coin, that's the currency, that people use to buy, is paired up. They're supposed to be backed 1-for-1, meaning that per 1 USDT it equals to $1. That is not the case, my friends. They have been over producing and issuing to the... Sorry, go ahead.
Did they not settle this the other week in court? I believe they made a payment, didn't they, or something?
Oh, no, there's a bigger picture to play. Yeah, there's a bigger picture. So there's a bigger picture to play because the powers to be want... See, USDT is controlled by China, right?
Yeah.
They want to shift that to the US. USDC. So don't be surprised. It's not short term, but long term. They want USDC, which was co-built by Coinbase. That's why Coinbase is like a lapdog to the regulators of SEC. They were the first ones to delist XRP, even though they were the ones that went to the SEC 2 years ago and said, is it okay to list XRP? Is it a security? And SEC did not respond, and they listed it. And they were the first ones to delist it, right? So don't be surprised that at some point, it could be a year, that the shift of pairings will move away from USDT to USDC. It's a stable coin, right?
Yeah.
If you hold it, it's virtually, for me, it's like a vehicle. It's a vehicle to me to get a coin. A lot of people, and I don't understand, but that's just me, a lot of people, when they have a coin like Ethereum and it's an all-time high and they see the price drop, they sell their Ethereum, put it on a stable coin and buy at the dip. That's fine if that works for them. But for me, I know that the price is going to go back up. Right? It's the cycle. So why go through all that effort and fees and costs for that? Now, in regards to staking USDC, there is some sites that offer some really good APUs. Okay? Some good yields. There's some dual staking in Binance where you stake BNB and USDC. So do your research. In regards to security, my friend, you know, it's like anything else. Anything is hackable. Okay? The best you can do is just do your due diligence on the exchange that you're using.
That's basically why I was intent on doing it straight from the ledger, because I didn't want to risk it on an exchange.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people wants to keep anonymous, and that's fine. Okay, I have some of the coins on another digital wallet, and that's virtually locked away. That's not even in my possession. Okay, and that's like a long-term thing. But a lot of the coins I normally keep hard on a hard wallet. Only when we call it, you know, hashtag the bull run, that happens pretty much, you know, every 2 years, give or take. I bring some of the coins out of cold storage into the exchange, and I invest. I virtually sell and buy and stake and what? No, short term. When I say short term, for me, that's 6 months to a year. Then I'm out. Okay, so I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much for your help.
Yes, not a problem. Any other questions?
Yeah, coming back to BNB, right?
Yes, sorry.
I couldn't actually ask the question.
That's fine.
Yeah, have you staked BNB yourself?
Yes. I'm staking BNB.
Do you do it through the exchange, and do you need to lock it up or something?
No. So virtually, okay. So I'm going to do, this is on the list, Binance. On basics. You know, Binance can be overwhelming, okay? It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, but it's the safest bet ever.
In regards to use, like, I'm just going to use this as an example for your BNB. So Binance itself, the exchange, has multiple options to stake. Now you can soft stake, meaning that it's on your normal spot wallet, and you can transfer it overnight, right, or any given point, and you learn a little bit of interest. We're not talking big. We're talking like 0.7 or whatever it is, right? And then at any point, you can just bring it back to your spot and do whatever you want to do with it, right? Then you have what you call launch pool staking, meaning that you, as a token holder of BNB, you have the opportunity to stake on certain coins. They're going to be launched on the platform, and they give you a bigger return in the actual coin before it gets launched. So brand new coins that virtually done a deal with Binance, like Dodo was one example. What was the other one? Lint, L-I-T, right? Those coins, the people on the exchange that had BNB, they staked. There's a pool of rewards by staking prior to the launch. So they get coins. That is why you see when a brand new coin launches, the price goes sky high and drops like a bomb. Do you know why? Because a lot of people who got the coin for free take advantage of that sky high price and dump it because they have no emotional attachment to that coin because it was given to them for free as a BNB holder. So that's option. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question about ZRX?
ZRX.
Oxcoin.
Okay, let me just have a quick little gander.
Yeah, but the new projects that BNB launches, don't you have to pay BNB for it? That's why the price.
You have to. No, there's a lot of projects there are shifting from a different blockchain to Binance blockchain, and they have virtually utilized BNB. So hence why BNB has received a lot of action, all the way to $300+ Now, let me just quickly. Sorry, could you say that coin again?
ZRX.
ZRX. Okay, let's have a little quick gander. And what do you want to know about it, my friend?
Well, it's basically my biggest bag.
Okay. What got?
Sorry.
Okay. So what got you into it? What attracted? What for the?
If I'm honest, I didn't have a clue about the coin before.
That's fine. Neither did I. You don't have to. Yeah. Listen, it was cheap. Exactly. I bet it was cheap when you got it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. I want to get a big bag of cheap coin.
I've been trading up and down for 2 years, but now I'm sat on 400% profit.
Yeah, there you virtually, my friend. Just looking very quickly, all-time high was back in 2018, and $2.53. That was at the launch. No, it wasn't the launch. It was at the bull run. Last 3 months, $2. And at the moment it's sitting at 134. Okay.
I think the main thing for it is the staking, which is something I've never done. I mean, I've just got it sat on my ledger.
Yeah.
I've never actually.
I mean, my friend, if you have a big bag, you could have virtually increased your bag by staking. I'll make a note of that. Virtually send me a private message on that, just so a reminder, because I'm trying to keep up, and that's why I'm doing this talk, because I can only type. Listen, guys, I work full time, right? I manage 2 families. I have my computer bits doing. I also do folding at home for Stanford University. It's getting this last 5 years has been overwhelming, and I'm trying to do my best here, guys. But
you're doing a good job, my friend.
No, it's not a problem.
Yeah,
if I share, and that's why I've shared everything that I've done. The good, the bad, and the ugly on the profits and losses section, all the way back. And I started my first trade was on the 31st of January, and I made £2.80. My next trade, I lost 2,000. Right?
Oops.
Yeah, and it was a roller coaster. So this is when I came across Tino, right? Because I was looking to see, okay, I want to get into this, but I don't have enough information or what to do. And this wasn't leveraging, just, wrong entry, bad exit. And it was only when I came across around February the 4th, just the week ending, that I just sat through one of his live streams from start to finish. And for anybody that the first time you watch Tino, I've not met the guy, I don't know nothing about the guy, but you can hear his passion when he was talking about it, and this is back on the videos in February, and I could, you know, you didn't have to see somebody, you really see his true intentions. There's no hidden agenda here. I mean, guys, you guys are here. I mean, I don't even know how many people are in here, but on the main chat, you will get a lot of people asking silly questions because they don't understand the bigger picture, and that is fine if they're willing to learn. And I'm more than happy. Like I had over 157 messages alone today. I've virtually gone through around 70% of them, trying to virtually, you know, help. But these people that come in and are new, they need to help themselves, right? And that's why I always say they were. Some of the messages is just. I mean. And I'll share it. I will share one of the messages because it really got me. And I'm normally not. I'm really thick-skinned. You know, like I said, I'm not native to UK. I'm Portuguese. I was born in France, and I've gone through a roller coaster in regards to adopting different cultures. So I'm very thick-skinned. You know, but this one got me, and I'll share it with you guys. I got a message from. Somebody that recently joined, offering me $1,000 a month so I can give him entries and exits. And I'm like, are you serious? This is like, are you serious? You clearly don't understand the purpose of what we're trying to do here. So instead of dismissing it, I wanted to find out the reasons why he put that through. Because if he even looked of what performance people been doing in the profit and loss, you know, that's like an insult. Even if it was 10,000, I wouldn't take it. It doesn't matter. But I started virtually peeling the onion. Well, what was the reason he sent me that? There must be something. Well, guess what? He just lost $6,000 on trading within a day, and he has his rent to pay, and virtually he was chasing the loss. Right, so we were virtually trying to get quick entries and exits to make up the 6,000, and I tried to explain to the guy that's not the right mindset. Right, if you made a loss, and I made some losses on the first week, even before I even grasped my head around this concept, and I'll share all this, and I hope the interview will highlight, because I will bear all. I am an open book, right? I have no hidden agenda. If I do something stupid, I say I fucked up. But if I do something and it's working for me, I share it. I've been sharing screenshots on the fly on my phone. Shouldn't really be doing that, right? People try to, oh, is that an entry? No, I will never put a screenshot of a chart prior to an entry, only after, right? And this is not because I'm me being shady, because it's deemed as financial advice. You know, Tino keeps going on about this. And that's the reason I post as much as... I'll probably post too much stuff, but I share as much as I can. Now, this guy, going back to this guy, even when I explained that he's going around this the wrong way, his mindset is not right, he needs to step back, reflect, you know, the loss of, yes, it was big, but it was a hard lesson. Sometimes you need to take a loss to wake up, and like I did, and like, whoa, what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? Now, there is a lot of people who are emotionally attached to the money they're investing, and that's the most dangerous thing to do when trading. I had people telling me that they virtually have the final rent for their apartment and they're using that, and I said, mate, step away, do not do that, right? Because you lose that, you lose a place to fucking live. Emotional attachment, when you trade, it becomes a total ball game when you don't have that attachment. What I mean by that, let's just say that you had a good trade, right? An example, and you only use the profits of that trade to trade. Do you think you're going to trade the same conviction and risk if you were emotionally attached to it or not? What do you guys think?
Definitely not.
Exactly. Do you know what? It's like me, right? Let's say you've got £1,000 in your bank account, $1,000, right? And it's your last $1,000, right? And you're going to go on a high leverage trade on a coin that you haven't really looked at the patterns on the past hour or day, but you see it's going up. Oh, it's going to blow. You put your $1,000. Guess what? As soon as you put the trade on, and this happened to me, and it's happened to many in this group, boom, it drops. It's like, God damn. I just went in, and now I'm on the red. Now I got to hold it. I've got to hold it for the next bounce on the 50 AMA, on the 15 minute or whatever time frame you're using, and I hope I get out of my entry or slightly above and make something, right? And some people have been holding for hours and hours. There's a guy that held for a week at holding Bitcoin for a week at leverage 125. Bleeding fees be 7 hours. So, or if someone gives you £1,000 or $1,000, right, that trading experience is totally different, because I'm not saying you don't care if you lose, is that you see it from a different perspective. You don't have that emotional attachment to it, so you see it differently. This is what I mean. A lot of people been making some really good gains, but they're not utilizing the gains properly. The main priority was to get the money you started with out. Like you buy a coin. You buy any coin, you have that first initial investment. Your biggest priority, when the coin goes up in price, you sell some of the percentage of the gains to get the initial investment out. Once you've done that, it doesn't matter if the price goes up and down, because you're 100% profit.
It's free money you're playing with.
There you go. And you will treat it differently. Your risks will be differently, right? I think Tino gave an example. There was someone on Super Chat said, right, I've got 10,000 US dollars. If I give it to you, what would you trade on? And he straight away responded, right, like a sniper. Pew! Well, that depends. Are you going to let me have full reign on it? Or are you virtually trying to get your money back with some profit? Because the trading will be different. If you want the money back with some profit, then I can't do that. But if you give me full reign, then I'm on my element of trading and scalping in the 1 minute. And that's exactly the same. So...
Piece of shit. Do you leverage trade 125x at sometimes?
So the only one that I do, and it's very rarely I go at 125, is Bitcoin. In Binance, there's only certain coins. So you'll notice each exchange... Go on, sorry.
Can I add something? Yeah. What I've noticed, right, thanks to this weekend and I guess most weekends, right, is when you're doing such high leverage trades, right, you are gonna start bleeding with fees. You know, I've noticed this really big amount, and why I think it's so important to keep in mind why not to trade the weekends is if you do a big leverage trade before the weekend or exactly on the weekend, it might happen that the price might not move as much as you want, right? And the second thing is that if you're bleeding away your money and you decide, okay, I'm gonna sell right now, right? And I'm gonna buy the dip, which is maybe coming in a few hours, right? But the thing is, on weekends, the freaking market makers will stop the exchanges giving out you so much leverage. And they will say, no, sorry, we're out of funds. And you're, oh my fuck.
Okay, I can add you a different, I can add you, you know, you are spot on right there, right? You're spot on, but I'll add a different level to it. Okay, so when you're dealing with leverage, it doesn't matter if it's X2 to X125, you know that you are going to pay every 7 hours or whatever it is, a fee based on the leverage. That fee is taken off from the leverage, the margin, which you will get liquidated. Right? Do you understand that? Do you understand why for sometimes you have a trade and it's not doing so good, so you said, you know what, I'm going to hold it overnight, right? You didn't check the time of the fee, when it's going to kick in. The fee is taken, right? Rises the price of liquidations up nearer to the price drop. Guess what? A wick just hit. You just got liquidated. You lost the money in. This is why I say, when you're trading, if the fee time scale is 7 hours. Do your trades within that period and get out.
Pretty much the higher leverage you use, the shorter time frame you have.
Again, I can only speak on Binance. Okay, my time is 7 hours. Like I said, I'd hardly use 125. You'll see most of my trades are between 50 and 75. I use that because on my trades, again, I've mentioned this all the way through. I go in with $100. I will leverage it to 50. That is the buying power of 5,000. Okay, and then I use some of the capital that I have, and I'll put it in the margin to bring the liquidation margin down. This is where the information, when you look through the MT4, where the daily high, daily lows, right, comes into play.
Yeah.
Because then you said, okay, worst case scenario,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Worst case scenario is the price is going to drop. If it drops 30%, that is normal. So if you're not putting a good gap between a long trade, and when I say a long trade, I'm not referring to me because I'm doing things slightly different, but people's long trade could be 24 hours, right? A lot can happen in 24 hours. You're not there watching it 24 hours, right? So you have to keep risk management is 50% of the battle of a winning trade. You can turn a bad trade at a bad entry if you made a mistake by utilizing margin risk management. And this is why I always say only use 10%, because then it gives you that buffer.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, that buffer could be your last lifeline. I've seen guys messaging me saying, I could see the price coming towards my margin closer and closer. I've had no funds and I was already 5,000 down and I couldn't bring me up to kill the trade at a loss. And they saw the price coming, boom, liquidated. Yeah.
Please share. I want to get into your mindset a little bit here. Do you try to take trades at the high or the low in terms of longs or shorts, in terms of the average daily range?
Okay.
So if you see the price moving, at the daily low,
all right,
maybe then it's a good.
Well, let me give you my thought process.
Yeah.
This last 2 weeks, I had a clear purpose, process, and payoff. 1st of January, I made the decision, while I'm waiting for the W pattern to virtually play out on the bigger time scale, 1 hour, 4 hours, a day, I would concentrate on the smaller time frame of 15 minutes to 1 minute. When you go into the 15 minute and the 1 minute time frame, there is patterns within patterns. When you look, I'll answer the first part of your question. I do not take trades when the price is almost at its daily high. Why would anybody do that in the hope that it keeps continuing break through? Because if it doesn't, guess what's going to happen? It's going to retrace back. So
taking shorts at the daily high.
I don't do shorts.
All
of these 2 weeks, you see all my trades being long. This is what I've been concentrating for 2 weeks.
Yeah, bull market. Okay.
Yeah, long. I will concentrate on shorts at the right time. This isn't the right time for me.
Okay.
I wanted to get my consistency and level of trades up to ensure that I have that consistency. Now, second part of your question, do I get in on my trades at the retrace? Absolutely. When you look into the 1 minute time frame and the 15 minute, right, and a lot of people are wasting a lot of time looking for W's and the W. Look at the W. Take the first leg off the W. What do you see?
Retrace.
You see the tattoo, my friend.
Yeah.
On a time and a smaller time frame.
Yeah.
So what I virtually concentrate, I would look at each coin that I virtually focusing on. I will look of what has it been doing all day, Where is it at the moment? Daily high, daily low. Where is it moving above the daily moving range, above the 50 EMA or below it? Okay, if it's doing side action above and below, when someone looks at coins, they always go, what coins is up in percentage? I do not. I look at coins that is down, because if a coin is down, below is daily. When you look in the 15, the 5 and the 1 minute, you're gonna see where it's bouncing off, and you will bounce off either at the 50 EMA, or if it's really, really low volume, it might go even further down, 200, right? All I'm trying to do is looking for those little W's, take the first leg away, because that's your drop, rise, retrace, confirmation, continuation, on a tiny time frame, right? While at the same time awaiting the bigger pattern, right? So you wait, you do a trade within the hour, okay? You put it on any coin, doesn't matter what the coin is. You found the perfect W, and you're sitting there watching the price go up. Happy days. While you're doing that, I have that open trade exactly like yours, but I'm diving into the 15-minute. That's a possible 4 trades that I can possibly do. And then within those 15 minutes, I jump into the 1 minute trade. Do you think that I can pull off, 20, 30, 40, 46 trades in one session, waiting for the bigger pattern? And if the bigger pattern plays like Bitcoin did the other day, oh my goodness, happy days. But this is how I've been trying to get my consistency. If I can do this on a 1 minute time scale, it becomes a lot easier, right? Spotting it at the 15, on the hour, on the 4 hour, on the day. If you can virtually see it. Price watching is a wonderful thing, my friend. I have spent hours and hours looking at the specific coin that I'm trading, looking at candles. When you're looking at a chart, a lot of people are struggling to find W's. Turn the candles into a line chart. Use the RSI. The RSI is a wonderful thing. I've shared this again in multiple times. Look, KDJ, RSI, the MT4 platform's got a wonderful. You can trade on the 1 minute, just off the RSI. I've shared screenshots where I've circled where the RSI was when they cross over and form a inverted fin, shark fin, and just based on that, you could possibly trade, as long as there's volume. Because if there isn't volume, you're going to be stuck on side action for a few minutes. Most of my trades are in and out within 5 minutes. 10 minutes if I see there's volume and there's still a massive gap between where the price action is to where the daily high has been, or recent high that is done on the previous rise.
Good advice.
Okay.
Something.
Listen, a lot of people has been making the commitment watching Tino streams, either during live or past streams. A lot of guys are listening to what they say, but they're not hearing what's being said. Right? There's not much point spending hours and hours on videos and watching if you're not hearing what's actually being said. One of the best books that I've actually got in my possession was a recommendation with this community, which was mentioned by Tino. Let me just get it. And it is The Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques by Steve Nixon. This has been a game changer for me, because then as soon as you can understand what type of candle pins to the high, stop volume, you know where to get out. Pins to the low. Yeah. You hear this terminology. I don't know all the terminology. I'm still learning. I'm 5 weeks in. If you see a red candle, okay, that could mean anything. But when you start understanding the way it's behaving towards the daily high, so you're going to ask yourself, what are they going to do? Are they going to pass the daily high? Are they going to pin it there and bring it down? Because if they're pinning it, I'm getting out, and then I'm going to back in when it retraces down, and I'm in. And I'm riding those dips. It's not dips, the retraces. Right? On the 1 minute and the 15 minute. And that, my friends, sometimes the longer trades can be more profitable. By you open the trade, let's say you open the trade for a whole day. Let's say that you got Bitcoin at 20,000, and within that day it went from 20,000 to 30,000. Okay, and in one trade you made a killing, right? Well, every 15 minutes I'm doing a trade. I'm getting $100, $200, $250. I'll probably will get maybe 25% of that big trade that you just won.
Yeah,
but on long term, consistency, who do you think is going to be a little bit better off? So, because if you get that consistency on the bigger time frames, you open your trade, you know your margins, you've got your risk management under control, you know where your fees are, you know where to get out. A lot of people are wasting a lot of time doing projections with actually not understanding what they're actually projecting to. Understand the candles and these behaviors. Sunday is a brilliant night because you get a little indication of what the market maker's intentions are for the week. Sunday, Monday. Once you know that, then you can pace yourself and say, right, what coins is actually getting some action? What's moving? What's getting volume? Have a look at the news. Now, news can influence, right, some of the action. But I prefer to use what is the market maker's intentions. How many longs have they been putting? How many shorts? There is a website, which is an aggregator, that shows you the volume and actually tells you how many people being liquidated volume-wise. When the price goes down, I keep an eye on that, and I'm saying, wow, they are going down because they know where the stop losses are. I don't use stop losses.
Sorry, what is the name of the website?
I will bring it up and I will try. I don't know.
Thank you.
See, the thing is, again, I'll ask MikeDutch to allow me to put some links. This is the first time I've done this with you guys, so it's a learning experience for me, as per usual. So let me see.
Thank you too. I have one story about stop losses while you're doing that.
Yes, of course.
What happened to me on Friday? Actually, I was watching Traders Reality, the live stream, and I noticed the W just before the big swing up, and the last W that was like the bottom before it shot up. It was like 56.2, I think.
Yeah.
And I went long 56.2, but I had to go to sleep because it was like 3 in the morning, and I put stop loss at like 56.3.
Yeah.
And it wicked just to 56.3, and it sold. And then I woke up and I thought I was like $1,000 up, but I saw that I'm only in Tether. Yeah.
It's the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling, my friend. It's the worst.
Oh my god. It's literally the worst feeling I
happens to all of us, yeah.
I know what happened to me, right? At the same time, I did the same trade. And it was almost same price, right? But for me, this was my first Bitcoin and Ethereum leverage trade.
Wow.
Leverage trade.
We all need to learn.
I didn't put the stop loss. I was confident in that.
Yeah.
Join the club, my friend. Join the club.
Yes, I love to trade altcoins, like,
Listen, I know exactly that gut feeling to wake up in the morning. I look at my email. I look at my email on my email account, and I said two emails from Binance. One says 80% near margin, and then within 10 seconds, you look at the timestamp and said you've been liquidated at this price. I shared that. Yeah, I shared. This is before before the 1st of March. I've been liquidated several times. Right, and I'm not talking small money, right? And that was stupidity from myself, right? For over-leveraging, right? That was stupidity. And not have... Sorry, again?
You kind of protect yourself with the amount of trades that you do. So you only put a certain certain amount. This
is now. But I have to see it
but
from
he still learned from the lesson.
Yeah. This is now. When
That's right.
When I went at this beginning of this journey, you know, in the same shoes as pretty much everybody that's here, you know, not understanding fully how leverage worked. Just seeing it, wow, if I put leverage, I can get a bigger return. Wrong mindset. And then I virtually see the price, like the story of that guy, seeing the price crawling, and I'm virtually putting funds into the margin, lowering it. And you get, and you see, I tell you what, do not watch the 5-second chart when the price is dipping, my friend, because that will give you a heart attack, right? And this is when you're awake and you're watching it. Right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
my first liquidation, and it happened during the night, and I woke up in the morning, and I think I had one trade on, and I went into my app, and I'm like, oh, I'm not getting no signal, my trade is not on. What's going on? Open position 0. You know, my sale point. What's going on? Like switch Wi-Fi. No, Wi-Fi is on. 4G, 5G, or whatever it is. I'm like, what the hell? Then I said, okay. I look at my email prompts, and I'm like, Binance notice. I'm like, 80%. Oh, you've been liquidated. And I just like, no, look to the phone. Where? Because I just dumped $4,000 on that margin to protect it, and I got taken out. So when I went into the chart, I wasn't liquidated because the price hit. I was liquidated because the wick was almost the same size as the drop. And that, my friend, gives a bad taste. Now, in regards to the website, it's called HTTPS, and you can put whatever ticker and then type .aggr.trade. Okay? And this is linked to exchanges that shows you the volume. Okay, I'm going to try and copy and paste. Can I put it somewhere? I will always get...
It's already in one of those channels.
Brilliant. And I'm seeing right now on Bitcoin there is people getting liquidated at 60,000, which is ridiculous. It's mental.
There's liquidations all day on that site.
Oh, wow. You know, because, wow.
People don't know how to do leverage.
Yeah, and listen, and it will happen. The only thing you can try and do is understand the risk management of your margin. Don't get greedy, right? New people, they get to win. Like my first win back in January was like $2.18. Then it was 90, and then my loss was 2,000. Why? Well, very simple. Because I thought, oh wow, I got like that amount of money. So if I increase the leverage, well, guess what? Didn't have enough margin, and I went probably halfway through a upside, and I thought, oh, this is going to go nicely. And I thought, and then I had side action for about 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and then it was time to go to sleep. And guess what happened when I was asleep? Got liquidated because the price tanked. So it's an expensive lesson, but trust me, it's one that you will never forget. And when I see new people coming into the chat and saying, how do I use leverage? My first question is, how long have you been trading? Oh, it's my first week. You shouldn't even be thinking about leverage. You shouldn't even be thinking, right? Now, yes, go ahead.
Back in when BNB was like 16, right? I did my first leverage trade. So I leveraged BNB at like $14.
Yeah.
I had like, I think my trade was, I put in like $10,000.
Whoa.
My trade, and I did like 4x or something.
Okay.
It was like, I had like $80,000 there in BNB. It was stupid amount of BNB. At the moment, it's like, should be millions.
Wow.
And it went up to 19. And the thing was, this was my first leverage trade.
Yeah.
And what I didn't really understand was that I told myself, okay, I'll only do 3 to 4x rate.
Yeah.
But when the price spiked up to $19, my account went so large, right? And I was like, oh, that's free money. Okay, I'm gonna put more leverage in. But that's not 3x anymore. That's
no. Here's the thing. Go on. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
The price went to 19 and then dumped to 16 something, and it was gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
When was it, Anna?
When was it? What?
In regards to leverage, a lot of people get impressed. 125. Okay, actually, if you think about it, if you're only using 10% of whatever capital you have, let's say, okay, 50 to 75. Let's say 50 leverage, and you're only using 10% of whatever that capital is. Okay, then you go into a trade and you do an X10, right, with the same amount. And the trade, let's say it's a good trade. Which trade do you think you're going to get the most return out? Anybody?
That's a good question. Because you would think that the 125 would give you the most because your leverage is so high. So that's what everybody's thinking. Nobody wants to answer it. So yeah, what is the answer to that question?
Very simple. Because if you really look on how leverage works, the amount that you put in, the higher the leverage, right, is the smaller amount you put in to begin with. When I say 10%, if I put 10% at X50, right, say $100, that's $5,000. But if you put 10% at X10, the amount you put in for that 10% is a lot more. If you don't believe me, do on your trade. Just don't open a trade. Just put your leverage to 10. Put 10% and see how much money you're committing from your total pot. And then do the same thing at a leverage 50, 75 or 125 and have a look, just 10%. Because then all of a sudden, when you X10 or X20, the amount of money you have to put in the margin control is a lot of a big beast to deal with, my friend.
It is. Yeah,
right?
Agreed.
I have...
Can I ask you something?
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. It's kind of just going back to way back when you were talking about staking.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Kind of spoke to me. So after you were talking about staking, you were then given an example of, I think you were talking about ADA, and you said that if you were going to cash out of your ADA, and that was it. We were talking about USDT.
Yes.
You were going to cash out of your ADA to USDT, and you said, because of fees and such, that would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
What is the alternative?
Okay, so firstly, this was an example. I had a message. A guy had quite a huge amount of Ethereum, like ridiculous amount of real coin, not trading. And he saw the price going down. And his idea was he wanted to sell everything into a stable coin, because the stable coin is at a fixed price. It doesn't have a lot of movement, 1% up, 1% down. And then use that money to buy at the dip and increase his bags of Ethereum. Now, there's no issues with that, but the amounts he was talking, the fees that he would probably be faced with in regards to make a transaction fee to exchange it, is quite a substantial amount of money.
Yeah, that's one question I want to ask.
So
that's 12. He was dealing with 1,200 Ethereum. 1,200.
So if you're talking about the odd 100, not a problem.
Not a problem. Nothing wrong with that. There's thousands of people that do that because they don't want to see. Yeah. Nobody wants to look at a chart when you're a holder of a coin going down in price. And you look at your portfolio, you wake up in the morning, it was X amount of money, and you go to bed and it's like, oh shit, I just lost 30% of my portfolio value, right? If you put it in a stable coin, it holds that value as such, okay? in that currency, but you're in essence gambling, because what about if the price doesn't go down? Let's say that it booms.
Yeah.
Then you just sold your bags.
So,
you know.
So
I made that mistake.
There are no other alternatives.
You can swap. Okay. There's a lot of pairings. Let's say look at Ethereum. There's a lot of pairings where a coin that is dumping is paired with another coin that's going up. A lot of people do swap and swing from one coin to another. Okay. Now again, I have no issues at all with that. Right. I've done my buying. I'm not buying. I've done my buying way back. So I take advantages if I see the fundamentals of a coin. I'll always concentrate on the top 100, top 200, maximum 4 or 5 coins. If they virtually, I lost my thought of, if they want to do that, then that's fine. But again, there's another risk. If you see a coin that's just breaking out, right, and it's paired with it while yours is going down, and you virtually have the pairing, they'll swap it, ride that, okay, cash it out on either on Stablecoin before it goes in a dip, and sit and hold until his original coin has gone to the bottom. Let's say you hit the, EMA 200 or whatever for the day, or on the week, a good 30-40% retracement after hitting an all-time high, and there you go. So he's ready to buy in again. Thanks very much, and I just increased my bags.
So does Binance actually let you do that? So say you buy in at GBP, GBP BTC, can you cash out in USD? Because it always seems to me that you have to cash out in the coin that you originally purchased in. Is that not right?
No, you can virtually, if you look on Binance, you'll have the markets for all coins, and then you have fiat currencies. It depends on the coin. Certain coins are paired with BTC, ETC, and USTD. That's main ones. But then you have other coins that are paired with BNB, like Cake, for example, or Bake, right? Because they virtually on the blockchain. So it's virtually doing your research. Not all coins you'll be able to do that. Just an example.
But does Binance let you do that? It lets you buy in one coin and cash out in another. Because I only ever see the option to cash out
let me
in the coin that I bought.
just have a quick look on the fly here.
Things like Uniswap do that, correct?
Yeah, Uniswap is totally different, right? Uniswap, is a DEX, right? You don't have to register yourself. As long as you have an e-wallet, you can swap coins from one to another, but their fees are pretty high for having that privilege. Okay. So you don't have to do a KYC, right, with Uniswap. You use a Meta wallet, and you're ready to go. There's multiple wallets available that do that. You got your Polkadot wallet and all sorts. But let me just bring up and answer that question for you right now, my friend.
So is it your wallet that allows you to do that rather than the exchange, or?
In swapping? No. So obviously you got the exchange wallet, and then if you want to use a DEX, which is like Uniswap, and there's other ones. There's 1inch. You have a Chrome extension wallet. One of the most popular ones called MetaMask. There's other wallets. There's other wallets available. You've got. Let me just have a quick look. You've got Moonlet wallet. These are extension Chrome. I use Chrome as an example, where you have an address on that Chrome extension, where you can put Ethereum, because most of these DEXs operate on Ethereum contract blockchain. And you can swap that to a coin and then withdraw it to any other wallet. Now, let me just have a quick look quickly on the markets, and let's have a look at virtually spot market. So, give me a coin.
BTC.
BTC. So, right now, BTC, on the fiat market, you can change it. You can to sell, wasn't it?
Yeah. So say you bought into a trade in BTC GBP, for example.
You can sell it in USTD, Binance USD, Euro. You can virtually swap it to another coin called TRY. That's on fiat. Now, if you go into alt at the moment. BTC. Let's have a look.
So that comes up as an option actually in the sell interface in Binance, does it?
If you go on Binance, right, and you on the markets and you type your ticker, so in this case BTC, you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs, right? So you go into spot markets, and then you have the BNB markets, right? So if you click on BTC, there's nothing there. It's not paired. BTC is not paired with BNB. Right, if you clicked on BTC markets, you'll see all the pairings that BTC is paired with. So in this case, BTC is paired with Ethereum, Shazil, Mana. Then if you look at fiat currencies, so if you want to sell BTC to a different currency that you bought it with, let's say you want to sell it into euros or whatever, then you click, there's a sub category under the fiat markets, and you just simply click. So for example, if I click on euro, it's available in euro, Aussie dollar, Binance USD, USDD, what else? USDC, PAX, DAI, which is a stablecoin.
You're actually, rather than closing your trade, you're just selling. Rather than closing the trade you initially opened, you're
I'm
selling
talking
out of your trade.
Right, hold on. This is on spot markets. You didn't say it was future markets. Now in future markets,
spots.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so in future markets, virtually you have USDT perpetual contracts trades, and then you have USD perpetual contracts. Now USD, you will get paid on the coin that you virtually putting in on the trade. USDT, you will be paid and only on USDT. I thought you were talking about open market as in spot market. One, you have a coin and you want to, right? So if it's spot market, meaning that you have a coin and you want to sell it and get it to paired with a different coin in return instead of money, yes, you can do that. On the future markets, that is different.
Okay.
When it comes to trade, all right. Hope that helps. I don't want to confuse anybody. So, right,
I got
guys.
a question about is there any fees for swapping in Uniswap?
Yes.
Just out of free service,
No, there is fees, and it will tell you. Depends on which coin. Because virtually Uniswap, the coins within the platform uses the Ethereum smart contract blockchain. Yeah. The fees, I mean, they've done something last week to help lower because the fees are just getting ridiculous. Someone was trying to do like $100 worth of Ethereum, and the fees was $50. That's 50%. That's just mental.
That wasn't even at peak.
I've seen some horror stories, and that's low volume. Can you imagine if you're throwing in 50 Ethereum, 100 Ethereum? So the advantage right now, and I don't know if there's Ethereum lovers here or not, the transition to Ethereum 2.0 will help that, but that's going to take time. Meanwhile, you have other players in the game. Now, one of the players that's being held back is ADA. Another player that virtually is a network that's going to bring other people into it is Flare Networks. Look it up, people. Flare Networks is a wonderful thing. Flare Networks allows a token that has no utility whatsoever, gets converted into the Flare token, or known as Spark, and actually give it the
SRK?
SRK, my friend. FLR. SRK is a different Spark. Look it up. Look at the ticker. FLR. Okay, it's called Spark. This is so bigger picture. This is the token that a snapshot was done just before Christmas. Every single holder of XRP would get 1-to-1 Flare token, FLR. Okay, a 1-to-1. And instead of the airdrop for it is going to be around April, May, June, you're only going to get 15% to initially of your amount, and then the rest is going to be drip fed for a period of 16 months. The reason they've done that is on that network, once the Flare token is in full swing, There's only one exchange at the moment that's using the FLR token, which is a IOU. So they've tokenized a token already. So what they've done is simply, instead of waiting for the full drop, they created a token as a representation of value, meaning that once the token actually hits, it just swaps over to that IOU. But on the bigger picture, when the FLR token is in full swing, there is an exchange, Flare Networks, where you will have to swap the FLR to a YFLR and DFLR, and that gives you different capabilities into DeFi, staking, and smart contracts. XRP was one of the first coins that they mentioned and partnered with the network. They added the Dogecoin to it. So, yeah. So now you have a situation, the meme coin, that virtually people have so much of it, doesn't serve a purpose apart from representing something. On a network, it could be utilized as if it had smart contract capabilities.
Can I touch on that?
Of course you can.
With the Doge thing,
Yes.
I've talked to quite a few people about Doge because I always had the same sentiment when it came to just a meme coin. It's a pump and dump, all this other.
Yes.
Somebody put it to me quite clearly, and I'm not really entirely sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, go on.
So Doge was presented to me as pretty much the fiat of crypto, because as our dollars, there's no cap. They can just print and print and print and print. So it was explained like Doge would be the fiat of crypto, and basically the dollar of crypto, and Bitcoin being the gold. I mean, with no cap, I mean, essentially it's kind of what you're looking at, but how can you build value on something that doesn't have a cap?
It's interesting you mentioned that, because earlier I covered exactly what was happening to the dollar and the valuation and the transition of the US dollar in regards to the inflation and the printing. In regards to, is there going to be a cryptocurrency that's going to virtually be the currency for the world at this moment in time? I can't say that. Right? All I can say, there's going to be a global standard on the ledger which payments are made from and to. That's the only thing that I can say. All right. But for Dodge, I gave some Dodge coins to my boy. My boy is 10 years old. He's quite versed, and I've exposed him to cryptocurrency very early. He's got his own wallet. He's not a trader, that's for sure. But virtually, when Dodge was not even, it was 0.0000 whatever. It was over the moon when it got to 1 cent, right? Because he just saw his wallet just go up. So he is happy. And a lot of people who held Doge coins, people that held hundreds of thousands of millions of Doge coins, that was virtually worth nothing all these years, they got a payout. Happy days. In regards to the manner that's being done and the way that the social media has virtually, using as a bit of a circus in regards to pump. Look at what they've done to the pumps on XRP. A big group organized with a fixed time, which is the most stupid thing I ever seen in my life. And the Chinese eventually pumped the price up before the actual time the pump's supposed to start. And what happened? Pew! Straight down.
Yeah, I lost that was my first big loss, about 7K on that trade.
Wow. Yeah, this is the pump and dump. I don't get involved with that.
I didn't know. I just seen it. I seen it happen on the exchange. I was like, "What the fuck's going on with this?" I'm new to trading. I'm like, "This looks like something to get into." And
exactly. and that's thousands of people, right? Because they saw what happened at the GME and AMC stock, with 4.4 million people involved in pumping that stock from $4 to $500, and they thought they're going to do the same thing in crypto market. Oh, no. Different beast altogether. Anyway, guys, I've been rambling on enough. if there's any final questions, I'll answer. I'm sorry if I've not covered all the topics, but I tried to cover some of the topics that was mentioned, and I do have a list. I will be speaking with Mike to, one, allow me to have screen share, so you can actually physically see, representations visually of what I'm talking about on future, and also possible links as well. I think that would help. But again, if there's any questions, I'm always happy to
ask something, please.
Yes, of course you can.
I want to ask if you have any CFA level.
Have any?
CFA, the exam.
No, I haven't.
Chartered financial. Okay.
No. I studied.
You know so many things. This is why I'm asking.
Okay. So I studied business and finance for 3 years, with the intention of working on the banking system. I've virtually worked my ass off in getting it done, and I managed to excel and finish on the top 3 students of the class. I spent 3 months working for Barclays Bank, and it was the worst 3 months of my life. And I detest banking with a vengeance, from seeing what actually happens behind the scenes. The average person sees the front. I saw the real back, and it disgusted me. And that was almost 15 years ago. So you probably it's a very long story. Maybe another time, maybe another video. But that kind of drove me back in 2016 into regards to looking for alternatives, into how do I finance myself, how do I support myself without having to rely on the financial sector.
You seem to have pretty good understanding of how the financial market is working, because given the fact that you are doing great things with a very small amount of experience, into this, you have done things that others could, not someone who's just an ordinary person can do. So I just realized that you have a very heavy financial background. Not heavy, but you're not an average person.
I'm not I'm just a foreigner. No, okay.
So
there's a lot of my background that involves a high level financial. I spent 20 years on the hotel and catering industry. I've worked from being a pot washer, to a waiter, to security, to a receptionist, to a restaurant manager, to virtually every single level, and I spent a year in every single position from the bottom all the way to deputy general in 3-star and 4-star hotels. I peaked, that was a period of 6-7 years, when I went into management. When you go into management and you get exposed to budgets worth millions of pounds, multitasking becomes a must. So you can see a lot of behind the scenes of what's happening. When you're given a budget of X amount of millions for the year, and you have to expect an 8%, 10% return, you have to know your shit. So you learn fast. Now, I come from a family that's been involved in the hospitality sector for 60 years. I'm the 3rd generation of my family to do so. It was a big passion of mine on the service level. So when you start going into higher management, and obviously I was on the verge of general manager. I was virtually acting general manager for 2 4-star hotels. I won't mention the names, but it's like a holiday resort for adults only in the UK. And when you're sat in a meeting with some of these managers and directors, and you having a conversation, how many tea bags you should actually put on a fucking bedroom service tray? Should we put 2 or 1? Because they want to save half a penny because of cost. Man, that is a realization in my face. And this is 6.5, 7 years of hard graft. This is no bullshit. When I say this is 4 hours, this is 16 hours a day, 6.5 days a week. I missed almost missed the birth of my first child. Didn't see the first 3 years of my child first walk, first everything, because I was very career driven. But when I sat there after working 16 hours and they call a last minute meeting and I'm sat there and they talking about, we're not hitting our sales projections, we need to virtually the spiel, we have to manage our costs, we have to be efficient. That's virtually bullshit to say we need to cut costs no matter what. And they always go for training, which I'm a big advocate for training. They always go for the customer. Services. Always. They can try and I'm sat there and I'm like, this is wrong. Now, I always been the black sheep of the management team on the company I work for, because I speak my mind. And there is inner circles that I has never been able to infiltrate because I saw it differently. This is wrong. This is impacting the customer expectations. If you're going to take this away, what are you replacing with? Oh, nothing. So you virtually, you're rising the prices. Your customer is paying more but getting less each time you come here on holiday. Why they should come back? And they don't see it like that. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, my position, after almost 7 years, I've moved 9 times in 10 years, and got to a point. Yeah, I got to a point where I fell out of love with the industry because of what was happening, and then the big recession happened, where the company was faced of a shortfall of about, I don't know, about £1 million short. So they took the decision of saving that on wages in the middle upper management. So I was given a letter after 7 years service that my position will no longer exist after 28 days. Thanks very much.
Wow.
Okay. So that, my friend, was a wake-up call. You remember a lot of people here share some stories, big losses and like, wow, shit, I need to sort my shit out. That was my moment.
Right now.
That was a moment of life as such that you like wake-up call. So straight away, as like trading, what do you do when you lose a job? You jump and straight go to apply for another as quickly as possible. You got bills to pay, you got mortgage to pay, you got food to put on the table, and I had to move back to the area where I was, and that level of capacity jobs was not available. I was going to 2-3 interviews a week, and I was getting rejected over experience. We can't afford you. Some didn't even bother to give me feedback. And I'm sure a lot of people, you apply for a job and they just say, sorry, you weren't successful. Well, I phone up, I write, and I say, well, could you give me some feedback? Something that I said, maybe. So I started toning down my CV. And still, so for 6 months, I spent a lot of time looking at alternatives. And one of those alternatives, my friend, was the cryptocurrencies. Okay, so I don't want it to be my future to be in control of somebody else that at a whim can virtually end something that you virtually invested 7 years. And I've been involved in hotel and catering. I started when I was 13 years old. That's a big, big chunk of your life to have a reset. You spend half your life doing a sector of an industry, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, what do I do now? So I made the decision to completely retire from hotel and hospitality, and killed third generation of my family to do so. And I have a passion for cars, I have a passion for tech, and just luckily where I live, I live in the UK, a very, very rough city called, a tiny town called Crewe. But in Crewe, if you Google up Crewe, you'll type in world luxury car manufacturer. You'll understand where I work.
World luxury, say it again.
World car manufacturer, Crewe.
Bentley, we have Bentley in Crewe, yeah.
Wow.
PC. And that
Wildcat.
And that's where I work.
You said Wildcat or what car?
No.
Just luxury. He just said luxury.
Luxury car manufacturer.
Yeah, luxury car manufacturer. To put that in perspective, I got a $3 price cut on my career that I was in with an industry that does 200 to 250% price increase on all the parts that they purchase. Literally 200 to 300% price increase on parts that they're just raping their customers with.
Yeah.
But real quick, you said that you were recording this, right? Because I missed a lot of the beginning.
Yeah. I've recorded this, right? So I need to play it back and see how it looks, if it's any good.
And then a suggestion with the stream, since I'm an avid Theta hodler and I've been a fan for quite some time, you should stream it on Theta to help blow that platform up over time. It's great software, man. Theta is fucking promising service. It's just like it's waiting for crypto to take over.
I'm already on it.
Nice.
Would you invest in the fuel?
I'm also already on another platform. That's a different time.
Yeah, but it's a good place to do your stream for.
I've already stream. Like I said, I know Tino keeps promoting my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has been dead for a year. Okay, right. The purpose of that channel was simply to help a friend who was studying a degree on computer science. Okay, if you see some of the content there after 4 years ago, that was a key date for me. That kind of changed my perspective in regards to what I was doing with that channel. I switched over to Twitch because in Twitch they have a science and technology section which I can stream my client builds that I do for the client to watch and learn everything about their PC as it's being built in real time, and they have a video reference to when they need to tinker with it to go back. So that is where maybe once a month I stream there. In regards to
Sergio.
Yeah. Say that again, sorry?
Okay. Is your name Sergio?
Sergio. Yes, that is my name.
Okay.
All you have to do is just type PC Shed on Google and you will find
I found you.
You're going to turn this into something then? You're going to stream regularly so we can follow?
Yes, this is something that I will, like I said, Tino is, man, the guy is under a lot of pressure. I have the utmost respect for the guy, for what the purpose he's doing this. The stuff that he's giving, the information that he's sharing with you guys, there's people that are charging thousands of pounds a month on a subscription to even have access to 10% of what he's sharing. Okay, and all he's asking, just hit the like button. My God.
Yeah. And you're doing the same thing. So you might be too humble to say so.
No.
So
what
you're doing
part
right
of the family,
now today,
bro. You're part of the family.
Yeah.
I feel part of the family for one reason, and one reason is when I heard what he was saying, and I put it to the test, and my missus hates me for me. I'm very understanding, 20+ relationship with my missus, and she hates one of my attributes is I'm like a dog with a bone. When I bite into something, I'm like a shy horse. I focus on it, right, and everything just gets dissolved. That's why today I just spent time with my family. When I say I do 20 hours a day, I'm not bullshitting. My job at Bentley Motors is from 7:15 till 3:15. This week 4:45. Prior to that, I'm up at 5 a.m. Right, getting bits sorted, ready for the day. I finish work, straight at it again. And I have 2 households to manage. Right, I'm there rewatching some of the videos while waiting. I'm answering you guys' questions in here, ready for that 10 o'clock. And I am pumped. I am pumped to virtually every single day. I go into the stream. It's just learning again. Something new. Now, don't get distracted with all the crap that's happening on the main chat. I mean, the guy that virtually, what was it? Oh, I think you're condescending. Right? Someone asked the question where an indicator was, and I just said, fella, the indicator section on the server, and he just started on me, right? And I'm like, okay, so that's your introduction to the members. There's a lot of members here who are close, and I've touched base with about 10, right? And I've not shared anything. They shared to me, and I asked a question. When someone randomly sends me a message with a chart, I always ask, what do you see? Because based on that answer,
yes,
as either this guy's going to waste my time, okay, or I am going to invest the next couple of hours helping this guy. And I've done this to a group of people already. I've mentioned it already on the chat, and they are virtually focused. Like today, a guy did an amazing trade, on Mana, right? I've been speaking with the guy. Absolutely, he's been virtually on it, watching videos right, left, and center, sharing his story. It was just like unbelievable. I said, you know what? You're doing exactly what I started doing 5 weeks ago with all the different stages. But when you watch a video, do not get distracted with all the crap that's happening around it. Now, I've donated a lot of money to Tino. That's because who I am and the way that I do, and just my history in regards to random act of kindness. Because the trainers, he did that, nobody bought it. This is a guy that took the time to design a trainer, right? The trainer's not important. It's the thought of someone done something to try to build something out of nothing. And if it only took to use some of the profits that I made and make the owner actually own his own product that he designed a year ago, so fucking be it.
Yeah, God bless you, bro.
Right.
But
so
there's one thing as well, is that you can talk to an audience and people will listen, and what you're doing right now exemplifies that.
Okay.
Some people can't talk, and you can, so it's great to listen.
Will you surprise you that through the 20 plus years in catering, I was selected as culture development within the company. I had to go through a 3-year intensive course delivering seminars to high-level people in regards to the culture, the aspects, in regards to the not just, this is our culture, the McDonald's culture. Now, the attributes of social styles. You put a room of 4 people, total strangers. There's tension. They don't know each other. You have to understand each social style, and then you can approach them slightly different. My missus is a analytical person. I am an amiable expressive. When I talk, you can't see it, I'm using my hands. There's people who are amiable. There's people who are drivers. If you draw a square and you divide that square into 4, and you put on the top right driver, bottom expressive, right? Bottom left amiable, and top left analytical. That's your 4 groups. That's your 4 groups of your typical person. And within that group, driver, you have driver, so a sub-quadrant of the same thing. Each person, someone who's a driver, say a manager, when you try to speak with a manager, he just wants the quick answer, So how are we doing today on sales? He doesn't want to know you had a bad day. He doesn't want to know, how you're feeling. He doesn't want to know that you worked 20 hours the day before and didn't get no recognition. He just wants to know the sales, right? So it's quite cold person, right? When you're dealing with somebody who's amiable, they are a touchy person, right? So they want to firstly spend time telling their story. Expressive people tends to paint a picture. And analytical people, right, is somebody that will spend the time analyzing information before giving a decision. Now, they're the longest one to give you a decision. Now, if you have those 4 groups, and let's just very simply categorize this, in the room, how the fuck do you get them to work together as strangers? And that, my friend, is what I spent a lot of time learning.
And it's working. Sounds good to us.
Anyway,
okay.
No problem. It's been a pleasure speaking with some of you guys. Hopefully, I'll try and keep in touch, and I will try to do some of these more often. But it's been nice actually hearing some of the voices behind the names on the chat, which is good.
Thank you, Pete.
We appreciate your time. PC chat.
All right, not a problem. Right. God bless. Bye.
Thank you.
God bless.
Bye.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.